Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our INFRACHIP workshop on how to best access INFRACHIP offer when you specifically maybe come from a country called widening country by the European Commission. I will be pleased to moderate this workshop together with my colleagues from INFRACHIP. But before we start, I will just wait a bit that people can join. So maybe just the time that I am uploading the slides, and we can wait 2 more minutes for everybody to join us. But thanks for being here this morning again. So just sharing my slides. Okay. So good morning, everybody. Maybe it's now time to start. Vida, Irini, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Please start.
Yes. Okay. So again, welcome to everybody. My name is Laure Quintin. I'm Director for European Projects in Minalogic, a cluster for digital technology in France, and we are proud partner of the European project INFRACHIP, European Research Infrastructure on Semiconductor Chips. You have here the the partners, and today's workshop aims at specifically seeing how we can collaborate with and facilitate access for users, for institutions based in countries, so-called widening countries by the European Commission, but with maybe some specificities that INFRACHIP could address for you, so that you can best collaborate with us. So some from me introduction and instructions for today's workshop. As you can see, your cameras and microphone are off, but you will be able to turn them on during the Q&A session, and of course also during the interactive session a bit later. So you have here the speakers today, my dear colleagues from INFRACHIP, Irini and Veda, and Javier, who will give you a testimonial on his INFRACHIP project with one of our members. And then in the end, we will close the workshop also with two short testimonials by from two projects, but the representatives couldn't be with us today, so they recorded a short presentation, including a video that I will share with you later, well, in the end. For your information, this workshop is being recorded. It's important for us to then be able to access it later on, and for you also to share. It will be accessible on our INFRACHIP YouTube channel. You have here the link to this YouTube channel, and please, sorry, do not hesitate to subscribe to get the more and then the further videos then we upload there regularly. Well, before I leave the floor to Irini here, the agenda of our workshop. So what's in for you today? An overall presentation of INFRACHIP offer and project. Then we would be very happy to exchange with you on your needs and your challenges. So I will ask you then to join the Mentimeter tool on the website or on the phone. I will give you some instruction. Then Javier will present his project with INFRACHIP. Then Veda will go deeper into the application process and the application form, how you can better apply to INFRACHIP. And then we will conclude the session with the two videos by two researchers from IMT Bucharest in Romania. And if you still have questions, we would be happy to get them and answer them before we close the workshop. So thanks for it. You can all the time during the workshop use the chat, and I will have a look on the questions regularly and address them after each presentation. So Irini, the floor is yours. Sorry, here is your presentation. Nope, sorry for that. So. Here it is.
Okay, thank you, Laura. We can see the presentation in full presentation mode. Good morning. Thank you to everyone for attending today's INFRACHIP workshop. Next slide, please, Laura. My name is Irini Kuchurubi, and I work as a project manager at the Institute of Emerging Technologies here at Hellenic Mediterranean University, which is located in Crete, Greece. Briefly, we name it HMU. And I will give you today a presentation of what INFRACHIP can offer to potential users so they can benefit it from access to INFRACHIP infrastructures. Next slide, please.
Sorry, I don't know why it doesn't work, Irini. Here it is.
Okay, thank you. To everyone, if someone doesn't know what INFRACHIP is an infrastructure for emerging and responsible electronics and aims at implementing the first integrated distributed research infrastructure as a wider European research platform for the sustainable development of next generation and future semiconductor chips. And since access to various technologies is not equal to everyone, and this can be a game changer in terms of innovation, by removing these barriers, INFRACHIP aims at boosting research and innovation. Now, how do we do that? INFRACHIP offers short, focused access projects, including the possibility to welcome you at the facilities of one of our access providers that I will be referred to them later on my presentation. And depending on the task and your own competence, this work will be performed together with the local experts. So INFRACHIP has 5 pillars. Let's say that these are 5 research technology platforms. The first one is power for energy autonomy and power electronics. The second one is sense for advanced sensing, stretchable and flexible sensors and photonics sensing. The third one is think for quantum and spin device engineering and component for neuromorphic computing. The fourth is connect for radio frequency components and radio frequency front end design, short range optical communication. And the final pillar is sustain for green electronics and substrates and green sensors. Next slide, please. Okay, so now why a user should be benefited from INFRACHIP? INFRACHIP is open to small and medium enterprises and also for academic researchers in the field of semiconductors, and has been designed to be transnational. So access to INFRACHIP is free of charge for SMEs and academic users, and only a few weeks of effort are required. One of the advantages of this aim is that the travel and stay expenses for engineers or students or postdoctoral researchers are covered by the program. And we have a fast inquiry process through the INFRACHIP website. Now, what is a transnational access? From now on, we will be referred to it as a TA. So we have some important criteria that the user's country must differ from the facility's country. For example, a postdoctoral researcher from HMU, which is based here in Greece, cannot apply for a TA to Demokritos, which is also based in Greece. However, a Greek postdoctoral researcher conducting their research, for example, at Chalmers, which is based on Sweden, can apply for a TA to Greece. The user must not have the requested technology or equipment available at their home institution. And the user, after conducting their part of their research project through INFRACHIP, should publish their results, and it could be an open access journal. Next slide, please. So, INFRACHIP consortium is a combination of leading European research infrastructure industry cluster organizations, and knowledge hubs that will deliver an integrated research infrastructure for semiconductor field. It consists of partners from Ireland, France, Greece, Germany, Portugal, Poland, Austria, and Sweden. And the consortium as a whole brings together the unique infrastructure, advanced equipment, state-of-the-art technologies, and world-leading expertise required to deliver the ambitious objectives of INFRACHIP. So as you can see here in the map, we have some purple dots where these are the access providers based in Europe. And all these are partners of INFRACHIP. The coordination of INFRACHIP comes from Tyndall National Institute, which is based in Cork, Ireland. And HMU is also a partner of INFRACHIP, which is based in Greece. Wood Sesamat is based on Poland, Uninova on Portugal, Democritos in Greece also, CNRS on France, Joanneum Research Institute in Austria, AMO in Germany, INL in Portugal, and Chalmers in Sweden. So all these institutions are access providers when you can apply to get benefited from our infrastructures. Next slide, please. So now, why and who can have free access to the state-of-the-art technologies? Next slide, please. INFRACHIP grants you access at no cost through European funds to a wide range of state-of-the-art technologies and infrastructures which can help you in your research. So you can find everything you want to learn about on our INFRACHIP website. So the first step is to fill an inquiry form specifying your needs and describing the part of your project that needs to be conducted in a specific infrastructures. Applications after that are reviewed on a regular basis. We encourage you to provide results such as publications, as I said before, in open access journal, and acknowledge INFRACHIP in these works. So now, who can apply for a transnational access? PhD students, postdoctoral researchers, academic researchers, SMEs, if you're working on a project and need to try a prototype or to access on a specific tool, perform a specific task, and then you should apply to INFRACHIP. Now, as we said before, we have a strong partnership of 11 access providers, key actors of the semiconductor research field. And thanks to European funds, INFRACHIP can welcome you physically to the infrastructures or virtually at one of the facilities. Next slide, please. So before you submit your inquiry to INFRACHIP, you should navigate to INFRACHIP showroom, which is also available in our website. So you can have the chance to explore more than 160 technology offers in our showroom. The environment of the website is very simple and really friendly for all the users. So as you can see in this slide, we have some filters where you can choose from. You can choose from either for platform technologies, if you're interested on sense, think, connect, power, or sustain, or you can choose between key enabling capability. Maybe you're interested on getting to know the access that you will have for the infrastructures for processing and fabrication, or metrology and characterization, modeling and database, devices and test structures. And you can also filter your choices through the available access providers, the facilities, which means the partners of INFRACHIP, and you can choose one or more of them. Next slide, please. So after you have navigated to the INFRACHIP showroom, you have selected your preferred options for each filter. You will be led to this page where you can see all the available equipment and infrastructures for each access provider. Here are some examples from Tyndall, HMU, Uninova, and JOR. And if you click on every equipment of this, you will see the specifications of the equipment and how you can get benefited from this equipment for your research work. Next slide, please. So now, after you have navigated to the showroom, you have selected which access provider you want to choose to conduct your research work. The first step is to apply for an inquiry. So you have to submit a technical inquiry where you describe your need of your project and you discuss with the relevant experts. So this is an example of the INFRACHIP inquiry form. This is a blank form which is available on our INFRACHIP website. All the links are written down at the slides in case you want to access them. So you will see this form. You will have to fill your contact details, name, email, your gender, your position, your organization, and in the field of inquiry, you will have to give a short description of why you're requesting this access. Also, there is an option of you can choose one of the preferred facilities. In this option, you can choose more than one facilities. And then you can click on the button Submit. This is the first step for the inquiry process. Next slide, please. So now, after you have submitted your inquiry form to INFRACHIP, you will get an informative email with all your answers from the form. And after that, the coordination team of INFRACHIP will get in contact the user and the host institution so they can start discussions over their project. So after the user and the host institution have already concluded with their discussions and they have agreed on the access and the required effort, meaning that they have concluded to a proposed work plan, after that, the user and the host institution start preparing the access application form together, which is provided from the coordination team of INFRACHIP. After the user and the host institution have prepared their application form, then the user is ready to submit their proposal to INFRACHIP. Next slide, please. Regarding the INFRACHIP offerings and for the last step of this access inquiry process, after the user has submitted their proposal to INFRACHIP, this proposal has to be evaluated from an external review panel. And after the proposal is accepted, then now the host institution and the user are now ready to get started to schedule their travel and their visit to the preferred host institution. But Veda later in the workshop can give you more information on that. This was my last slide. We have one more to say thank you. I just wanted to close this presentation and saying that we invite users from widening countries, Croatia, Romania, Serbia, Greece, to apply for inquiry at INFRACHIP infrastructures and get advanced by them. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out now or anytime. And thank you once again for attending this workshop today.
Thank you very much, Irini. I will have a look if there are questions, and if you want also to, yes, we have some questions, Irini, and then from Krishna. I have finished my PhD and I'm no longer working at the same institute where I completed it. Can I still apply to access the facilities there if I want to develop the R&D based on my previous results, or if I want to develop new work?
Usually the users that visit the INFRACHIP infrastructures are already conducting research work in an institution. So what this means that I am postdoctoral researcher here at HMU and I want access, for example, maybe to make some measurements on the TM microscopy, and I do not have this opportunity here at my home institution, so I will apply to INFRACHIP so I can have access to this microscope to another infrastructure. This usually happens where a user is already conducting a research work.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add to that?
Of course, Veda, please.
So if you have finished your PhD and you have moved on to some other institute, you can still apply. As Irini very clearly mentioned, the only thing you have to keep in mind is that your new institute should not have the infrastructure or the expertise you're trying to access through INFRACHIP. It doesn't matter where you are, the condition still applies. And the new institute that you are now located, the country should not be the same as what you're trying to access in the consortium. Only INL has that exception. They are an international organization. They can, being based in Portugal, they can still take inquiries from Portugal. But for all the other partners, you have to be transnational. So that's the only condition that is to be kept in mind. About the first question, he has two questions out there.
Thanks to both of you. What about access to early stage startups? They do not fall under the SME category according to EU descriptions. So here maybe I can answer. If the startup is registered as a legal entity, as a private company, it doesn't matter if it's early stage or an already well-established Startup, the company fails under, according to me, fails under the SME category. So it is, of course, eligible and can inquire and access. I am right, Vida?
Yeah, that's right.
So, but if it's still in incubation, or if it hasn't been created yet, then not. It's not an SME or startup. But I guess you can still like ask for an access as an individual researcher.
Yeah.
Okay, other question. How much time does it take for generating an access request and finalize acceptance of the access by INFRACHIP? I guess, Vida, you will answer this question later, yeah?
Yeah, I will be answering that in my part, yes.
Okay, so Ali, if you don't mind, I don't want to spoil Vida, and I just ask you to please wait a bit for this information. Okay. So just thank you. Okay. If you have still questions, maybe just 1 minute for you to add them into a chat or in the Q&A section, or please feel free to open your mic here using this icon and to ask your question.
So Sampath Kumar Krishna says, I'm not affiliated to the new institute. So I would say that you need to be affiliated to some institute, because when you will see it in my presentation that the applicants institute should also be doing some part of research, and you should be asking to come on INFRACHIP platform because your institute lacks a particular expertise or infrastructure. So you need to be affiliated to any organization. It can be an SME, it can be a large industry, it can be a research institute or academia, but you should have in-house research capability as well.
Okay, Vera, I am maybe thinking, do you mind maybe to going on with more detailed explanation, and then we can maybe switch your presentation with Javier's presentation? So Javier's was illustrated, and maybe because that might be better for everyone to have really detailed information. So I will then now give you the floor.
Yeah, thank you. I'll make it very quick, my presentation part, because Erini has almost completed her the display of explanation of INFRACHIP.
If you want to turn on your camera, Vida, we can see you.
Oh, it's not turned on? Oh, I didn't know.
No, we don't see you. That's a pity.
I thought I have turned on. No?
No, we don't see you. Okay, I will try and see.
I can see myself in the screen.
Okay, no, we don't see you, but we hear you. That's the most important.
Okay, not sure why. Okay, I'll just switch off again and switch on. Can you see me now?
Yes, now we can. Perfect.
Okay. Very quickly, I'm Veda. I'm a program manager and senior scientist at Tyndall National Institute based in Ireland. We are the coordinator of INFRACHIP program. I manage the INFRACHIP program. So whenever you put in an inquiry or you go to the contact email ID in INFRACHIP, it actually comes to me. I'm your external interface. And not sure why this is not moving. Okay. So very quickly, INFRACHIP is actually an free access program for end users. 1 second.
Yeah, we actually see your presentation mode. So we see, we see your.
Can you see now?
Perfect. That's perfect like this. Thank you.
Okay. So it is a free access platform, and what we do is we help the early career researchers, the academics, the SMEs to come on board and access platforms that are not available for them in-house, and they want to take leverage of the INFRACHIP consortium. And we are there till available for you to access until end of January, or actually beginning of January of 2028. These are the consortium members IRINI has done through, so I don't want to take through the same slide. So how the access program works is of importance to you all. So we have access portal, which was shown by IRINI. You put in an inquiry, the inquiry comes to me. I put in a reference number, and I will connect you to the access provider who can give you access to what you are seeking in your inquiry. Then you have discussion with the access provider, and then you apply through an application form and get access. Once it gets through the review process, the application form, which is a proposal form, a very simple form, which is filled by yourself as a user and also by the access provider. And once that is filled, we do some internal check, then it goes through a review process. Once accepted and you're selected, you get access to the infrastructure you are seeking, and then it is completed and you get the end results, which is an output. What needs to be kept in mind are a few rules that go with the transnational access. One, which IRINI emphasized, it has to be transnational. That means any organization within Ireland cannot approach Tyndall because we are based in Ireland, but we can, for example, you can go to Greece, you can go to Poland and other partners. As I said, only INL, though based in Portugal, they can take inquiries from Portugal because they are an international organization. The other thing is that you must not have requested for any infrastructure that you have in-house. The infrastructure or the expertise you are trying to seek under INFRACHIP has to be something that you don't have in-house. It's mandatory for all of you to publish your results. We only exempt this for SMEs because they actually are looking to protect their ideas, and they would not want it to be published. But even large industries, we make sure that they confirm that they publish, or they can create an IP or a patent. In this case, whether it is a publication or IP, we would prefer it to be in open access. Even otherwise, you can publish in any conference, you can publish it at a journal, but we want you to acknowledge INFRACHIP platform in your publications, in your IP. We do not emphasize on co-authorship, but that's some discussion that you can have with the access provider. From the management side, we do not emphasize that. Your user organization, that's the organization that you are affiliated, should have research capabilities, and the applicant, that is yourself who's putting in the inquiry, has to be the end user. That means no consultancy firm can be the applicant. You have to be the end user of it. Make sure that these criteria are met well before you put in an application form, you put in a proposal. We give priority to new applicants. That means same applicant cannot reapply multiple times. And also, out of the overall budget that we have for this transnational access, 20% of it is allocated for non-EU users, but there is no budget limitation for the EU and associated members. We have evaluation panel. We have a panel, and I will be talking about that panel in my later slide. So I don't want to waste time by going through this. IRINI has talked about the inquiry form. You put in the inquiry form, it comes to me. Then you have pre-proposal discussion. So in that pre-proposal discussion with the access provider, it's important that you check in all these important points that I've mentioned, whether you qualify in all these criteria, because otherwise there's no way you can put in the application. The application form is very simple. I'll be taking you through that very shortly. But one thing we can assure you is that this application form, which is a proposal form, is very confidential. It doesn't go beyond the review panel and beyond the consortium. So you are protected of your idea. We are all bound by confidentiality agreement, and the proposal cannot be submitted by you as a user to me without it being approved by the facility provider, that is the access provider. The proposals are evaluated on three aspects by the review panel. What is the innovation? That means there is an overall innovation from your research, not necessary that whole innovation will come from INFRACHIP access, but there is an innovation part in your overall research. Out of that, you're trying to access a very small portion through INFRACHIP. That innovation should come out in the proposal. What is the impact of your outcome? How is it going to impact the larger scientific community? That should be very clearly explained. And the third one is the access planning. For how long do you want? Our unit of access is person days. That means if one person is trying to do this job, how many days does it take? And the maximum we provide access for one proposal is up to 40% days. So typically we prefer it to be between 15 and 20% days. If it is anything beyond, then you have to justify why you need a larger access, because it's after all the taxpayers' money, and you have to justify why you need that many percent days, because it's a commission which provides this amount for you all to access. So everything in INFRACHIP for the user is free. That means the personal's time who's doing the job, it gets covered, the consumables gets covered, and also the equipment time required for that project also gets covered from the project money. So as I said, there is an evaluation process. We have a deadline, as the question was. It's a fast turnaround. Typically from 1 to 2 weeks is the review panel gets about 10 days to review. But from the time you put in an inquiry to it getting accepted, depends. It can be between 1 to 1.5 months, provided you all have fast discussion with the access provider, provided you all put in the proposal well in time. So what I do as a coordinator or a manager of this is that I take all the proposals submitted in a particular month. The last day of the month is when I collect all the submissions and send it to the review panel. And the review panel then gets about 10 to 12 days to evaluate and send me the review. And then I go ahead and announce the result. A review of every proposal or every TA form is done by 3 people, one from the access provider, an expert from the access provider. One is an independent technical point of contact. TPOC stands for technical point of contact. It is independent of the access provider, but within the consortium. So they also provide the review. And we also have an expert group. We have an advisory panel, which is independent to the consortium. They also provide the review. Each proposal has to pass through this review process. All the 3 have to approve it. Only then you get access and it gets accepted. Even if one of them gives a score below threshold, then what we ask is for the user to provide more clarification to me, and I go back and give this clarification to the reviewer who has scored below par, and you are allowed one more chance to get accepted. Even after the second review, that is after clarification, if it doesn't get accepted, then what happens is that we'll have to reject your proposal. This is a very rare case. We try to make sure that as many as proposals that are submitted do get accepted. So that's the process in a flowchart, that you submit an inquiry and it goes through the evaluation process. The threshold of scoring is 10. And there are 3 sections, as I mentioned. Each score more than 3. Even if there is one less, then it goes through a review process and we try to give the evaluation. So this is where I stop. Laurie, do you want me to continue with the proposal form, or you want that to happen later?
Well, to me, it makes sense to go further with the proposal.
Okay.
Well, with instruction on how to best give an access.
Thanks, Laura. I will just take it through a sample proposal that we have. So this is how the proposal form looks. I hope all of you can see. So there is a title that you can give to the proposal, you as a user. The first few pages are to be filled by you as a user, that is the applicant, your contact details, what is your designation in your organization. We would prefer also to have an alternative contact, because what we have seen sometimes is the person who is putting in the application leaves the institution, goes elsewhere, and then we don't know with whom we have to follow up. And their email ID and their contact details are no more valid. So please make sure you have another co-applicant as an alternative contact, preferably from your own group. We do not want an alternative contact to be your office desk contact ID. It should be a person within your group who's doing research along with you. The first part of the proposal is a summary or an abstract, and here is where you will actually put in an overall innovation part of your whole research, not necessarily exactly what you're going to do only through INFRACHIP, but a whole summary, because this will give a clarity on your innovation aspect, which is going through, which has weightage in the review board. So this is what we have shown you as a sample, that about a sensor. And then there is a literature survey part. You give a background information, what is the state of the art work that is going on in this area, and you explain that. Then we also ask you whether this project has been is partially funded by some other source. If there is, then you need to mention the funding source and details. But then if you are saying yes, you also need to tell that even though you have funding from other project, why is it that you're coming on INFRACHIP? It can be that through that funded project, you're not able to cover some aspect of your technology innovation, and that's why you're coming on INFRACHIP. So some justification needs to be given. You also need to explain the research team that is at your applicant end. How many people will be working on it? Is it 2 researchers, 2 PhDs? Are there master students, postdocs, and others who are involved? This has only to do with the applicant's research organization. It is not the team that is going to work on the access provider. Please keep that in mind. And also do not mix here your collaborators. Might be an X institute has applied and they have collaboration with a Y institute, but do not mention about the Y institute in the research team. It's completely about you and your organization. Then comes the proposed innovation. So you have to explain in detail here the description of your research, but you should also explain why you're coming on INFRACHIP. See, you can see an example here. The technology offered by INFRACHIP access provider in the field of printed electronics seems to have the best potential for fulfilling these requirements and revolutionizing the measurement of pressure distribution, etc. So what they are trying to tell here is that what this particular access provider has is something very unique and not available in-house within the applicant's organization, and that's why they are coming on board. They also explain at this part in this block why they are trying to access and why it is important in terms of innovation. In terms of objectives, what we have seen sometimes is that people make objectives as tasks, but objectives are not tasks. What you need to tell is the overall objective for the whole research, why it is so important for this research to happen, and what is the objective, what are you trying to achieve by having this research being fulfilled, and what are you looking forward. Then comes the benefit. Now in benefit, you have to mention the benefit to the larger scientific community, because this is the impact of your work, and there is a section in the evaluation on the impact of this work. So make sure that the impact is mentioned, and the benefit to larger scientific community is explained very clearly. We do not want here you to mention that one of your benefit would be to have collaboration with your access provider. For that, there is a separate part in the proposal. Also, do not mention the benefit to the access provider. It is a benefit to you, the applicant's organization, and a benefit to the larger scientific community. Then comes the expected outcomes. So in the expected outcomes, we expect you to tell how you're going to exploit the result. That means if the work is successful. One thing you need to keep in mind about INFRACHIP, we are working in a research mode. We are not a service provider. That means when you come on board, do not expect, especially this is with SMEs and industries, they expect that the work will be successful and it is 100% guaranteed output. But that's not the case here. It's a free access platform. We work in research mode. There are chances of failure. So in case it fails, do not come back and say that we were expecting and it didn't happen. But in case you think, in case the work is successful and you get your expected result, how will you exploit it? Will you be looking at a long-term research after this? And will it come out with an IP? Will it come out with a commercial product? Or will you be looking at publications in open access? So that is something that you need to mention here, that how you expect to disseminate the information of the results that you have got through this INFRACHIP access. Under planned outputs, you have to mention about your publications or patents, or are you going to go with prototype? Please give some examples of how you're going, where you're going to publish, some example conferences, some example journals. Not necessary that afterwards you will end up actually publishing in those places, but we need certain examples of where you are planning to publish. Finally, there is a planned research output, and this is like a future plan. This is where you can mention you're trying to look for collaboration, might be right another EU project, might be try to look for some other national fundings, and how this research will continue. The Commission does not want you to stop your research just within INFRACHIP project. This is like a seed grant for you to start something, and then you should try to continue the research and make sure you get larger grants and work on it. Until this part is something that the user needs to fill, and the access provider reviews it and accepts it. But next part is actually being filled by the access provider. They try to, so if you as a user want to come to the access provider and want to have a look when the work is being executed, we do fund your travel, but we have capping, of course, for every TA, and we can provide you your travel assistance to about 10 working days to the access provider site. And so that in that case, if you're visiting, you can make the type of access as visit. If you don't want to visit and want to just say send some samples or get back samples, it can be remote. In some cases, it is test samples that you need, then it is a test sample that you need to click here. The access provider now works on your entire work and divides the whole work into tasks and subtasks. And for each task and for each subtask, they divide it into number of person days. And then the total planned effort is put. It is very important for the access provider to put this in place because that's the budget that gets finally accepted and gets awarded. And they also mention the list of equipment that goes into this access. Finally, there is sample description, what kind of samples will be delivered at the end of it, at what time schedule will you be trying to work. Most of the time it is as soon as possible. Then you have milestones for your work. You explain in what are the different milestones of this whole TA project. If there are some risks involved, you mention the risk. And if it is larger than 20% days, you have to mention why you need the large access and justify it properly. And then if you're traveling, how many days you plan to travel, what's the mode of travel, and then the access provider signs this off. So this is a sample of the TA project or the proposal that you will be writing. And I'm happy to take some questions if you have. Laura?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Veda. We have indeed questions in the chat. An entity has registered as a private company within the EU recently, and I want to develop an idea into a prototype at TRL 022. The firm doesn't fall under any incubation program. Is it still possible to access resources to develop?
You want to take this, or you want me to
Yes,
answer?
I can. Of course, you can apply to an access following, of course, all the instructions and recommendation given by Irini and Veda. So it means you should show that you are developing research, that you are not having the infrastructure nor the expertise in-house, and elaborate on how you will need INFRACHIP support, yeah, Veda?
Yeah. So that also answers the second question that you have there.
Yeah.
Can you brief any significant points to be kept in mind while applying this in this scenario? So it is the same conditions in this scenario. You have to make sure it is transnational. You have to make sure you have research in-house, and what you're trying to access is something you don't have. And you have to be the end user. So it's the same points that is applicable here as well. And yes, you can apply for a TA in this case. You can.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a question from Ali. From the evaluation point of view, what aspects do you evaluate novelty for the proposal? I understand that the
Yeah, so
researcher's project might be novel and innovative. However, they might need assistance in carrying out a process step through INFRACHIP that also not novel is crucial
yeah,
to achieving the overall project goal. Sorry.
yeah. So you're right. What you're trying to do through INFRACHIP might not be novel, but your overall research should have some novelty. So as I said, INFRACHIP is a small access program, somewhere between, say, 15% days to 40% days. We do not expect that in 40% days any novelty can come about. But that is being fit into your larger research goal, and that is where the novelty comes in. So that needs to be explained in the description part of the proposal, that what will be the overall novelty in the whole scenario. And then in that you are missing something to execute in terms of expertise or infrastructure, and that's why you're coming on board INFRACHIP. So that's the whole process of novelty, and that's how it is being evaluated. We do not look for novelty within the work that you'll be doing under INFRACHIP. I hope that answers you, Ali.
Thank you, Veda. Okay, Ali is also happy. Well, before we maybe continue with a perfect match, meaning the example of still ongoing project with INFRACHIP, I would like maybe to take 10 minutes. Or Javier, do you mind if we just do this interactive session with the participants just before? And you also have invited Javier to work with us, because we also would like to understand who you are and what are your barriers and your challenges, and how maybe INFRACHIP could adapt. I have here tac. So just for the next 5 minutes, I am asking everybody for their contribution. I would like to use an online tool called Mentimeter to collect your information and challenges, and know a bit your particularities also, as maybe an institution coming from these widening countries. I invite everybody to connect online to Mentimeter using here either the best is if you could just connect through this link. Just let me, I will put it in the chat. No, but up, sorry. Sometimes my computer is... Okay, I put it here in the chat and then we can start. So please join us online on the Mentimeter. Then we can start discussing. I will just leave everybody 2 minutes to join. So I invite everybody to take part to this interactive session, except Irini and Veda, please, and the consortium partners that are who are attending. But for example, Javier, you are more than also welcome to participate if you want. It's not, you know, INFRACHIP already, but yeah. The others should please interact. So I still leave you 1 and 2 minutes, and if you have already successfully accessed the page, you're free also already to answer our first question. Which country are you joining us from today? And if you have difficulties to access, please also write it in the chat. I can try and so here it's a workshop where everybody is asked to contribute. So it
please
also
do
shows
contribute so that we can. Yeah, I just want to request, please contribute because we want to help you better. If you know answers to these questions, it will help us better.
Thank you. And it also showed that INFRACHIP is where the process should also be iterative. I mean, Veda shown that you send a first inquiry through the website, but best is you exchange with the platform or technology owners to best also shape your project and see how it works. So here it's also to show that it's not a one direction process. So so here it's quite easy now, yeah. It's just where are you from, and then we are happy also to inquire a bit on your technical fields. So just here a warm up, I would say, to get into the session. This is good. We have Poland a bit bigger than the others, so we might have several Polish participants here. So welcome to everybody. So maybe 30 seconds more for people to join? Before I go to the next question. Okay, these were the easy question. Very quickly also, what are you hoping to get out of this workshop and of this session today? Shouldn't be easy answers. So information, contact, okay, application procedure, this is great. Proposal, so there might be already proposal IDs. Information, so this is good. I hope you got, let's first level of information. How to apply. You can answer or well, send multiple answers, yeah? I hope we gave you all of this, and if not, like if you unmet information, just let me know. Okay. I will go to the next one. Here is it more really about you. Which technical domains are you most active in? So if we can a bit refer to, you know, the pillars, the access pillars, INFRACHIP pillar presented earlier, that would be good. It would help us also to know from which domain, on which domain you're active in, or you're still interested in it. Both can be okay. Okay. Nice. Again, you can, of course, also provide multiple answers. Okay, so we have apparently photonics as the most represented sector here, technologies. Good. So I will move to the next one. Well, what are the main obstacles you encounter in developing or scaling up your R&D? It can be funding, access to infrastructure, skills, but also bureaucracy. You can also have other other ideas or other obstacles. Okay, funding. Okay, funding seems to be the main pain point. So here with INFRACHIP, the access is free of charge. So this can at least solve part of the obstacles. Okay. Do you have access to advanced tools for design, fabrication, or characterization? Have you already had or? Okay, it's also for us good to know if you already had, it doesn't prevent you to ask for INFRACHIP access. Yeah, Veda, I think if I'm not mistaken, but you don't need, you shouldn't have it in-house.
Yeah, you can have advanced tools, but what you're trying to access on INFRACHIP should be something that you don't have. You might not have everything. You might have in certain areas, like maybe your characterization is your strength, but not on the fabrication, then you can come on board INFRACHIP for fabrication or something like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Next one. What would be the most valuable support for your ongoing or planned project by INFRACHIP or overall? If you can just rate and prioritize the answers. Okay. I think we have now 8 answers. Maybe a last one. I think we were 9 before. Okay, well, maybe just 8. Thank you. It's also a very important information for us. So INFRACHIP provides all of this in different offers. So it's good to see which one is most important and valuable for users. So
even though we were talking only about transnational access, I also need to mention Erini from HMU is also leading our training program. So there is a training large aspect. So keep following on LinkedIn about what we do in training. Follow INFRACHIP and you will get to know all our training programs.
Yes, actually, maybe in the slides we can include, when we send the slides, maybe 1 or 2 slides on training. If we see
yes,
that.
we will add that and send it.
Yeah, I think it's also good. Okay. Well, for you, in order also to help us better inform you, what are the most effective ways for you to receive information about INFRACHIP or any EU-funded opportunity? So local NCP national contact point is if you prefer interacting with local contacts. You can also, I know the most effective, so you can also only use one choice. Okay, thank you very much. Also, we will keep it. Yeah, now we are closing to an end. It's just a bit like a more funny question. If INFRACHIP could solve one major challenge for you, what would it be? Just give your answer. It's a free text answer. Okay, cost. So I would say reduce your cost for research. Or support some of the project costs.
So INFRACHIP is a free access, so cost for you will be zero. We do provide help in facilities, so that's covered. To start an SME to solve societal health sector problems from scratch and have no funding, therefore INFRACHIP will help a lot. Thank you. Higher efficiency on organic solar cells. We do have some of our partners covering that.
So we invite you, of course, to also address this question in TA access, in the TA access form. Yeah, when you apply and send the inquiry, as Veda and Irini developed it. Of course, you're invited to present your challenges, what that INFRACHIP could solve, of course. But here it was maybe a fancy way also to close this session. Maybe no, just one last thing is just for us, just to be sure but here we could do it in the end, or maybe just stay connected and we will do this question at the end, at the far end, if you just can tell us quickly if the information was clear and if you enjoyed the workshop. So thanks for your active participation. I now invite Javier to present us his project, because the users themselves are the ones that can explain best what INFRACHIP is about and how it is useful. So I thank again Javier Lodejo for being with us today and for giving his presentation of an ongoing project with INFRACHIP that he is running. So Javier, do you want me to share your presentation, or do you want to do it?
I share my presentation with my
Yes,
computer if possible.
please,
Okay.
thank you. So again, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat. Perfect, Javier, we see it perfectly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Javier Fernández Lodeiro. I am assistant researcher in the chemistry department of the Nova School of Science and Technology from Nova University of Lisbon. Before sharing my experience, I would like to express my gratitude to the INFRACHIP project for its valuable support to our ongoing research. First, I would like to indicate where is my university, that is in Portugal, here indicated with this red pointed. And also, I introduce my research group. Here is a photograph of my research group and a photograph of my chemistry department in the Nova School of Science and Technology. I am the responsible for the laboratory of new green methodologies for the design and synthesis of novel metallic nanoparticle, which is a research subunit of the Bioscope group. Our work is focused on developing new environmentally friendly strategies to synthesize novel metal nanoparticles with a special emphasis in modify their morphology and control their composition to promote optoelectronic tunable properties. In this slide, I show several previous nanomaterials that we developed within the Bioscope group. For instance, this is a spherical nanoparticle, monometallic and bimetallic, dendrimer type nanoparticle, highly branched gold nanoparticle or gold nanostars. And here is represented different materials with different composition, palladium and gold, platinum and gold. And also we are interested in develop synthesis to promote the mesoporous silica coating of this type of materials. In this case, I show spherical silver nanoparticle, gold nanostars. And in our latest contribution, we developed a new synthesis of silver nanoplates. To develop these nanomaterials, we needed use advanced characterization techniques like high-resolution scanning transmission electron microscopy, among many others, as indicated here, that are essential to understand the structure and composition and also the growth mechanism of these nanomaterials. During the last year, we have access to these advanced characterization techniques across various funded projects in our groups. However, this is really expensive and not always available, which cause a serious delay in our workflow. And here is where the INFRACHIP opportunity is really appreciated for us. We discovered the INFRACHIP thanks to an email sent by Dr. Enrique Carbó Argibay, that is the head of electron microscopy service at the International Iberian Nanotechnology Laboratory. And during this moment, we were developing a bimetallic and hollow nanoplate synthesis for apply them as substrates and also to explore their photoinduced application. We submitted our project entitled Hollow and Bimetallic Nanoplates for Search Application to request the help to INFRACHIP to assist us in the characterization of this nanomaterial using the fermentonic techniques commented earlier. We are interested in developing nanoplates, silver and gold nanoplates, because these type of nanomaterials present a highly tunable optical properties, which can be implemented in several applications. Here I represent the tunability of the optical response of these nanoplates when you increase the size, for example, or when you increase the thickness of the nanoplates. But the silver nanoplates present serious drawbacks. For example, they susceptibility to the oxidation, which can avoid the subsequent application. Therefore, we are interested in developing a subsequent synthesis to stabilize these nanoplates and permit the application in different optoelectronic application. And here I show one simple scheme of our ongoing research that is centered in developing new strategies to coat these silver nanoplates with gold to improve the stability and also to take advantage of these two metals in the optoelectronic application. Also, we are interested in developing hollow nanoplates to apply are cell substrates. In our project, our intention to apply these nanomaterials is to develop advanced cell substrates, and in this slide I show one of these substrates that are under developing using these nanoplates. Here is the substrate in which is demonstrated that the nanoplates is distributed regular across the substrate and induce highly improvement in cell signals. One thing that I more appreciate about the INFRACHIP was the simple and application process, which is was explained by the Dr. Veda Sandet previously. And actually, the characterization of our samples is currently being in the INL that present highly expert staff. And the process, in my opinion, is professional and promising. High-quality data characterization are being obtained, which enhance our ongoing research. In summary, my experience with INFRACHIPs has been highly positive. The project has allowed us to access to advanced characterization service that will improve our research. I highly recommended this initiative to other research looking to advance their work through collaboration and share infrastructures across Europe. Thank you very much for your kindly attention.
Thank you very much, Javier. I saw and heard that there were questions. No, they were deleted. I saw Q&A. Okay, no. Any question? Okay. Okay. I have maybe one question, Javier. Were you already before that in contact with INL? Did you know the research team before, or you just got to know them through the when you heard about INFRACHIP?
No, because with the INL, we worked previously as external user using projects in our groups. And then we know the staff, and this is the reason because we received the email from Dr. Enrique Carbó Argibay proposing this initiative to characterize our samples.
Okay, so you previously, or you were already working with them in other circumstances. Okay. And a question to Veda, in principle, could, after the end of the project, Javier apply to for another project with another INFRACHIP partner?
Actually, we always prefer to have new users coming on board, but we don't completely stop it. So I would suggest wait for some few months and then try to reapply. We don't completely stop, but we would always prefer a new user. Other alternative is in your group, if someone else wants to access and come on board INFRACHIP to some other access provider, we would encourage that better because we always want new users from the commission point of view.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good. If there aren't any question, I would share also one testimonial recorded by two researchers that have completed projects in INFRACHIP. I apologize for them because they couldn't join today, but they send us videos recording. don't know if this works like this. Wait a second. I don't have it in full mode, presentation mode. Do you see it in full presentation mode?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so this was a new project completed where you can see that the results will be shared in conferences. The project was run with Heraklion University in Creta. Irini was the project partner. Irini, do you want to comment specifically on it? I haven't noticed how long are more or less the projects running.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, the project was 14 days. We had a great collaboration with Christina, and we hope that we will have in the future users like Christina and having so much interesting topics so they can work on them, and we can help them through INFRACHIP to be able to conduct their part of their research project.
Thank you, Irini. Well, I still have one last presentation that I find very interesting because it addresses another and a new application being healthcare. It's a project for about bandages. So if you allow me just to share the last testimonial recorded by Roxana, who provides also her, here it is. Okay, so again, an interesting project on medical device. So also interesting to see the various applications INFRACHIP progress can also address. And it is also a rewarding, a very rewarding testimonial for the INFRACHIP team and especially HMU team. So Irini, you were also project partner with Roxana. Irini, we don't hear you.
Roxana, so in both projects, both users were very collaborative. We've had a great time here at SMU, and we hope to future collaborations and applications from other users as well. This means that this is for all the partners, of course, not only from SMU, to get benefited from INFRACHIP infrastructures.
Thank you. Yeah, we also had Javier's testimonial with INL, another INFRACHIP partner. So what I reckon here is the projects are really straightforward with really defined objectives and milestones with high value in a shorter time, because here the two projects we have seen were just only a few weeks, yeah. So with rapid and interesting results. Javier, can you just repeat, precise us again, how long is your project with INL? Can you unmute your mic? Open your mic, please.
Yes. I think I remember that to me the project at the end of the last year, more or less 1 month or for approve the project. And I think that I sent our sample that in this case were 5 samples, because we are interested in investigate not only the composition of the materials, but also underdiscover the mechanisms of the gold deposition of the plates. And actually, we received the first image of the nanoplates. I think that the last week we are working to improve the analysis, because we need to analyze the hollow structure of the nanoplates. In the case of bimetallic nanoplates, we obtained the perfect data with the techniques that I mentioned earlier. And we are waiting for the last data, but I think that more or less in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we complete the characterization of these nanoplates. And then at the same time, we are working in apply these nanoplates as cell supports. In fact, it's a collaboration with a colleague of the University of Vigo to apply these nanomaterials. And I think that more or less in a total 6 months, more or less, the process. In my case.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So I understand that the INFRACHIP process and project duration and can vary from one project to another. And Veda, can you confirm that we are quite flexible and that the program adapts?
Yeah, so though we say that it is fast access and the total effort is like 40% as a maximum, between say 15 or even sometimes 4 or 5% to up to 40. But it doesn't mean that it is consecutively 4 days or consecutively 40 days. This 40 days or 4 days can be across weeks and sometimes in few cases across months. It depends on the access provider when their facility is available for the user to access, even though it gets approved. And also sometimes the user also wants some more time to send samples because they need to prepare the samples from there and also to send. So it's very flexible. Once it's approved, it is between the access provider and the user to see, to start the kickoff date and to see that the execution happens at the pace they want. We leave that to the two people who are actually interacting, but it varies from project to project.
Okay. And does it all automatically implies travel? We saw that travel costs are covered by the project, but can it
Yes.
also happen without the user traveling to the facility?
Yes, so it depends. So if what we usually suggest is people to travel, because that's where actually when you're physically meeting someone is when the understanding is better. But we also have remote access. If the user cannot travel, they can always apply it as a remote. But one thing you should keep in mind, if you have mentioned as remote in your proposal, and later on, after it gets approved, you decide that you want to go, then the budget is not allocated. So what we always suggest is that when you're putting in the proposal, make it as a visit. Later on, if you can't even attend, it doesn't matter, because then budget is allocated but still not used is fine, as against budget not being allocated and then you're trying to access it. So my suggestion to everyone would be always to put it as a visit. Try to visit, but if you can't, it's fine at the end and you can do it remotely.
Okay, thank you. Very clear. Thanks a lot for this. Thanks, Javier and Irini, for your insights and for your participation. To everybody, if you still have a bit of power and motivation, I will just switch to our last question on Mentimeter. Just if you can share with us if you enjoyed. So we already have answers, so thank you. But for today, would you say that the workshop made sense to you? The workshop was thorough and comprehensive, that you understood most of the content? Just tell us if you still have questions. And if you enjoyed the workshop, just be honest. Yeah, it's all the answers are I would say not confidential, but we don't know your name behind. We won't blame you. And indeed, if you plan to apply to INFRACHIP.
I see that some of them still have questions. If they don't want to ask here, please feel free to contact me through the contact email ID on INFRACHIP website. I'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Exactly. Main channel of contact is the form in the web, on the web. That is maybe somebody, Vida, you can put it directly in the chat.
Yeah, I will.
That would be great. Thank you. So, of course, if you know one of the partner directly, go through it, through this person. But if you don't, you're more than welcome to ask your question using the online form. Vida will share the direct link into the chat.
So you can see the link to the inquiry form is put in the chat. I will also put the contact email ID. It's there on the website, but just in case.
Mm-hmm. So I'm happy also to see that we have potential applicants. Okay, so thanks everybody. Thanks for your active participation. Again, I really share my gratitude to Javier and also to the two girls that who couldn't attend but took the time to make the videos. Thank you, of course, to Veda and Irini, valuable partners. Veda, you didn't mention it, but you're also a TA provider, so Tyndall also has facilities for you. And Vida is managing the overall project really successfully, but just go through our website and ask your questions wherever you still need it. Yeah.
There is a comment from Sampath Kumar Krishna. It's well taken. It would be beneficial in the testimonial if the beneficiary would mention the problems they encounter. Javier, if you want to mention if you have encountered some problems, it would be helpful, even for me, for all of us in the consortium. And also if INFRACHIP assisted them in solving your problem, additionally, they should highlight any complexities they faced or aspects that made their research work easier in terms of travel, funding, facility. Would you like to mention something on these experiences that you had?
Javier?
You're muted, sorry.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry,
It's there in the chat box, but I will repeat. It would be beneficial in the next testimonial that you can say now itself. You can mention the problems you encountered while you were writing the INFRACHIP proposal, and if we were able to help you with that, and how it has additionally assisted you in terms of any complexities you faced, any aspects of your research work in terms of travel, funding, facilities. So can you explain that?
Okay, in my case, I think that I don't have any problems during the submission because it's really easy. I only need to explain it, the scientific explanation of our work and the benefits, and in a short text, really simply. And also, I want thanks to Beda because her assistance during this process. And in my case, it was really simple and really good the process. I don't have any problem with the submission.
Did you have any problem in travel or sending samples in your research?
No, because in my case, for example, as we previously collaborated with the INL and we are really near for the INL because it's more or less 300 kilometers, I send the samples via DHL or other transport. And in my case, I prefer that the technical staff complete the characterization and it's not necessary my presence in the INL, and then was really easy for us.
Okay, thank you. There is a question, sir, ma'am, is UNINOVA and INFRACHIP same organization? I need some suggestions regarding one event I have listed to whom I should contact. So UNINOVA is a partner in INFRACHIP. INFRACHIP is a program with all these consortium members. You can contact UNINOVA, but if you want to, the person to contact is me. I've left the contact point address on the chat box, so you please contact me. And if it is UNINOVA, Maria, thank you. You have put in your email ID. You can contact UNINOVA directly as well. Maria's email ID is given to you. So you're welcome to contact me, or you can contact Maria also. Okay. I think we have addressed most of it.
Perfect. Thank you again to everybody for being here this morning. And a special thanks to our presenters and project holders today.
Thank you, Laura. You have conducted this workshop very well, and thank you to everyone who have attended. And we'll take all this feedback that we got in the Mentimeter and try to improve and work on it.
So you will receive the slides, and the recording will be available on YouTube. And please follow our INFRACHIP news on LinkedIn to know more about such webinars or other programs like training and calls for TA, transnational access. So thanks. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Once again, thank you everyone for attending this workshop.